How you guys enjoying this heat wave? It's supposed to be like 106 today on the heat index. I'm not looking forward to it. This is going to be a terrible day. And then it's crazy. Tomorrow, it's going to be like 80. It's like, what is going on? What is going on with this weather? It's terrible. Like it's been miserable for the past couple of days. And then tomorrow, it's going to be lovely. Day after that, lovely. It's going to be like 72. It's going to be like 78 in a couple of days. I don't understand this weather. I really don't. But this is good old Uncanny X-Men 22. This is the end of the story. This has been running against Age of X-Men, a completely worthless event that changed nothing, did nothing, just took tons of dollars. They had like 30 tie-in events, and at the end of it all, they just show up at the end of this book, and they're like, to me, my X-Men. They just show up out of nowhere. They say, Nate Gray made a separate world. Here we are now. It's all over. I'm so glad that I skipped that event. Sometimes you just know what to skip. Age of X-Men looked like a total piece of garbage. Looked like a garbage event. And my instincts were right. Nobody had anything good to say about it. And as I said over and over again, nothing in that event's going to matter. It's going to change nothing. And sure enough, I was right. It did nothing. And here we are. The X-Men are back together. And we're going to go into Powers and House of X. Now, one thing that I'm not sure about is if mutants are still known or unknown. They don't do a very good job of explaining it. It's like Emma Frost erased everyone's powers, and it's funny at the beginning of the book, they're like sitting on a park bench, and people are just walking around them, and they're in like full costumes. It's like no one thinks that's strange. No one thinks this is strange at all. He's like shooting his powers off, and no one has anything to say. And of course, they give Emma Frost the mental illness haircut. And Jean Grey comes back. She like trying to get back with Scott. And it was really funny. Like the hot redhead walks past her. And he's like, yeah, I'm just not into that mental illness haircut. And he hooks back up with Jean, the hot redhead, with a badunkadunk. So I really did enjoy this series. It really kind of was filler. Once they announced that Jonathan Hickman was coming back and they're just going to reboot everything, it's like this didn't mean anything. But it was fun. I did have a good time reading it. I thought it was a nice throwback to, you know, how things used to be. I liked that they had the 90s costumes, all that stuff. There was some good stuff here. I had a good time. It's totally skippable. You could skip this. From what I understand, you can just pick up House of X and Powers of X and totally just miss all this trash. And you're fine. You can skip all of this. So it's up to you if you want to read this or not. I think it was a decent story, but it doesn't seem like it's going to tie in to what's coming at all. From what I understand, this is going to be like a whole reset of everything. Or they're going to tie up all the garbage continuity that the X-Men have ran into. Because I got to tell you, there's nothing more confusing than trying to understand the sloppy mess that is X-Men history. It is a mess. You literally need to take classes and get a PhD in X-Men to really understand everything that's happened. So I'm really hoping that Hickman will come in and reboot all this trash and get everything back in line. That would be nice if we could have that. Because I do like the X-Men a lot, but they've just been a cluster funk for the past couple of like 60 years. Not 60 years, but for the past like 15 years. They've just been a mess. So it'll be good if all of that gets fixed and we can have like a good series again. Consistently good. I think if anybody can do it, Jonathan Hickman can do it. The guys wrote some good stories, but this is unfortunately skippable. Everyone that got taken out in this past run is going to come back. I guarantee it. I bet you they'll even fix Scott's eye, which is still cut out. But for the most part, like every character is back and alive again. I'm excited to see where Jonathan Hickman takes it. So we'll see. Anyway, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.